Right here on Times Television. This is the program in which we challenge young people's points of view by sharing our own. And Peer Chat is here for peer pressure,
but the good kind.
The good kind. And as always, you're with me, Elita Soko, and my colleague,
Gary Samati.
And today we bring to you a very interesting subject, a subject that I'm sure not many of us really understand: feminism. Now, feminism is defined as a notion, I would say, that promotes equality of the sexes, that is, of the male gender and the female gender. And over the years, there has been a lot of activism towards feminism, and there have been a lot of thoughts shared on feminism. But we're now just trying to explore exactly what feminism is. We've seen a rise in people saying they're feminists, but do they actually know what it is? And to help us discuss this issue today are two very esteemed guests, people you've seen before. We have, first of all, Amber Chizalo.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Amber.
Thank you very much for having me.
And on my left is Priska Kunsida. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Gary, you've been outnumbered.
I was waiting for that.
And feel free to,
Sure, I'm ready.
Are you?
Yeah.
The three of us. So, first of all, feminism. What is feminism? There is the definition. It's activism for equality of the sexes.
Yes.
So, what is equality of the sexes? What does it entail?
I think for me, it's about promoting equal opportunities for both males and females. But I would say good feminism is more about females because we're already living in a world in many azibambo. They are more advanced, unlike fair as mine. So it's now us struggling, but at least we should get there. So that is why it's more about females than males. So it's really about just creating equal opportunities for both genders.
I feel like Gary's just itching to hop in.
I saw that.
Maybe first of all, go to Amber. What do you take feminism to be?
Okay, in my own understanding, feminism is advocacy to do with having, like she said, equal opportunities. And this is basing off of ability.
Okay.
Women want to be seen that they have the same ability that a man has. And we're talking about the society right now. When it comes to feminism, we're talking about the society. So it could be socially and politically.
Yes, and also it's not just about equal opportunities, but also even having equal rights.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that females have as equal rights as men. So it's about that.
Equality.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to dive right into it. Program. I mean, we define feminism as we use the word equality in terms of feminism. But then I've heard most feminists say, like when they're backing the logic behind feminism, they bring in point equity and not the actual equality. Because most people argue, most men argue, when it comes to feminism, females, like we have to promote females, of course, we have to empower females.
Yes.
But then we're not empowering men per se. Sorry, I have to give an example. That time,
Yes.
they used to give scholarships to females who got 6 points. But then a man who would stand across the 6 points won't go to China for that scholarship. People argue, that makes sense because men have always been empowered. But then the specific man who got 6 points, let's say he's taking the 4 just because other men had been empowered in the past. So this person is not particularly benefiting from the fact that men have had better opportunities in the past. So personally, I feel like feminism isn't fair to people like that, Komano, when it comes to when that point is brought up, the backing point is feminists talk about equity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
But the definition has equality in it.
Okay, you make a good point.
Yeah.
Comma. Let's look at society. Gambira Marikari. Gambira, even biblically. I mean, there was even a time in that did not include women.
Yes.
The number, I mean,
Yeah.
see, Mabanga include as mine. How many ambuye so anabanga fidia to how many were they?
5,000 men.
That's what I meant. Come, we will see what Panani sort of was. I mean, as a number would have reached up to maybe 10,000.
Yeah.
You know? So there is that to think about. So equity, well, we still have to think about getting the underprivileged, the underdog, to get to that same level
Yes.
that everybody is.
And even the example Gary has given about the scholarships.
Yeah.
Going and Yamada that causes 6 points, it's normal. Like people wouldn't be surprised. Yeah? Because we usually regard Yamada and Gabun does the
Not just that.
But Tigana causes 6 points, the whole country will talk about it. But not causes 6 points in the Tigana. So that should also tell you how people look at it, how they differentiate at Tigana, Ndia Yamado and Hagas and there is still that huge difference.
How about like you guys are generally thought of as being, you know, several steps ahead in almost every sense. Intellectually.
Yes.
You're several steps ahead. Basically, you think of women as being weaker and smaller, you know? So on the basis of that, I think I read somewhere as I was researching this issue of feminism. There is an issue, you know, there are dissenting views on feminism.
Yes.
People who agree with it and people who do not support it.
Yeah.
And for the people who do not support it, issue but you're a weaker gender, a smaller gender. So you can't expect you'll be getting the same opportunities as the gender that is, you know, stronger, who will fight maybe more fiercely for whatever it is that you're fighting for. So maybe looking at the smallness and the weakness of this female gender, should we make exceptions for this gender? Kabena, should we let that gender maybe prove their strength at the end of the day?
That is where the issue of creating equal opportunity comes in. That is where the issue of having equal rights as well comes in. Because you mentioned the problem is the society. Like even the treatment, I'm bringing in totally different. So like you're already aware of the differences. You're already aware of what is expected of Nyamada, Tigana, and all that. So we have to change that mindset. We can be treated equally. We should be given equal opportunities. So even point on if we are regarded as the as the weaker sex, when also people say, but you're the weaker sex. Like we are not expected to do something positive. We're not supposed to do something good. So that is a problem, really. It is a problem because even if we work hard, people will not acknowledge that. What are you doing? Like, you're not even supposed to be doing this. Even Malawi, I mean, it's so hard for Nsigana to be respected, Mutwankas to be respected by Malawi. That is why we still find issues on he's being promoted. People would always associate it with but when it's not that. Like maybe you're working hard for it. Or just because people have that mindset. But she's a woman. Like you see? So they are your male colleagues. Like instead of them to applaud you or to be happy for you and all that, they will be the very same people that maybe they'll try to pull you down, which is the problem.
Do you think this whole weakness that is associated with our gender will help us in any way in achieving this equality that we are fighting for, so to speak?
Well, firstly, I think we have to understand why people call our gender the weaker gender. I did a little research. apparently women are viewed as Antonina Woody akakhala position amakhala ochulukidwa. There was a certain lady amenanali on a high position.
Yes.
She was required to sign for something. Koma she kept on giving excuses. Kuti neo mwanangu abangaza kuti mwanangu abangaza kuti so let me fix this and that. Komano despite the nungarizimia so if you are naturally as my were nurturing. Feminism ikutithandiza kuonetsa kuti ife ndi ability tindi kuthekera. Okay, we are visionaries.
Yes.
Ife kutika mu society because of chimene chimatipangisa kukhala weak is our nurturing ability. Kuti we want to take care of things, we want to sort things out. Nde kamene kajako kukagwiritsira ntchito mu society, socially, politically zinthu zikhoza kusintha because that's naturally who we are. So yeah.
I think so. It's something that has to start from the home. I think before
that's what I was going to say. It points to about the issue. For instance, as in no, but mwana.
Yeah, we should give it all that. So that is true. But I think this is something that has to start from the home. Like you shouldn't be overwhelmed with so much to do and all that. Almost you expected to do even for school and all that. We need to be given time. You just focus on other things. But then if we're expected to do everything at home, like Doka, and then the guys just there watching football and everything. Guys.
Okay, I cannot argue with the girls have what's like the circumstances growing up that society gives girls the overloaded way. Like I can't argue with that. But then don't you think it's not, what word should I use? It's kind of ironic for feminists to push the empower women gender, like not the empower women gender, or like the equality gender, the equality agenda, I mean. But then it's like sometimes girls want to get some positions because they're girls. You get what I mean?
In what sense?
The same way my scholarships is a girl is given an opportunity to go there, and there's nobody arguing with that. There was nobody arguing with that just cause Nsigana. You get it? There is no issue of fine. Let these people battle for it. Let the man and the girl battle for it. Let them battle for it. Let's see who passed better in terms of fine. There's 6.6 points. Come on, let's see who got the, like how sometimes you can get a way of differentiating these things. Don't you think that's kind of ironic?
What I think is, applaud a girl or a woman more when they achieve something. Is the circumstances in which these people operate. Chifuka makala kuda banga defy zambili to get to that.
Yeah.
For
but
instance,
you're looking from it in general, yeah? Not individually.
No, I'm looking at it from the point of mwana nsigana. I mean, opportunity opportunity yoda pite akabanga study in China because of there's 6 points. Pamene nyamata wabeza 6 points komali Malawi mo. First of all, look at, I don't have the exact figures. Come and look at the intake public universities of Malawi. You will find the male gender outnumbers the female gender. Nkhani intake. Already, both their steps ahead.
Can I catch you with the questions?
I will lose track.
I'll hold the thought.
Now, I'm looking at also the fact that Uyoyo has 6 points. If you look at them, for instance, they are twins, a boy and a girl. You'll find what in Yamada Mene Nyamada Kunyumbako. Sama Pika. Yes. Sama Tuga. Oh, my another class in Monza and Tina. Don't wait against what else 6 points. At the end of the day, despite all this burden that she had, doing chores, and I got it, this boy was not doing. Well, she's defied all that and still been able to get those 6 points. It's a way of rewarding her.
So
to say, Woody, you were unable, you were burdened with all this, but you still did this. So, hey, here's your reward. And this boy here, even other cars also a bit of China. I mean, fine, even the girl at the time who China, she's got 6 points, you'll still be able to go to a good school or no, it's the principle behind it all, is what I think.
Exactly.
But you were going to say something.
No, go on.
Yes, so just to agree with Ada. Kani made magamba ya bringing my cousin story different. So even for a girl to achieve something, guys, Ada is right. My cousin, oh my God, you are in there, you must really be sharp upstairs, and you guys the way you're so determined. Because even in Nkhani what is up school and all that, and your mother you have and all that, and like girls. Because when you but my card in Zambia so cheater. If you're not working and they would at least to your little siblings and everything, your mother, you either choose to study or you either choose to go and play. Yeah, but we fail, we don't have that choice. It's entirely way to go and consumer cars and yet we're in the same class. What I can see, even it's not the same class with our sibling. Come class from your mother. I mean, at the end of the day, you are just because they have so much time, whether because of bank study and everything, they are doing better in life. Even if we don't even have that time to study. So at the end of the day, that cause people should say, these people are being treated unfair just because they're females. No, we work hard for it. We do.
You don't get. I feel like it's kind of misleading. I feel like my point was. You of course, the girl. That's nice. Congratulations. Take her to China. But then, while we're trying to bring this thing of equality, why not take both genders?
Ineo, I have an answer for this one. I've asked that before. Because Ineo, this will come off as weird, but I've never considered myself as a feminist.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a female, yes. But I've never considered myself a feminist because I don't really understand the principles that guide it to say, well, no, I'm joining this movement. I don't really get it, so I don't really just blindly follow things that I don't get. But issue I've asked before, why not say equality and not equity, as you say. So I realized the issue, they're trying, first of all, to get the girl. I'll figure out a position in your mother already. When we achieve that, our equality will be achieved. We can now start distributing all those opportunities equally because everybody is now at the same level. But we're trying to catch up somebody weaker
to get
then it's all fair, not so bad.
Yes, and the whole idea of my scholarship was good. It's not for them, just for other people, they should see, if I do better, I will have this opportunity. Yeah? So you are promoting, and when I get to do better, to work hard, just because of the opportunities they have right here.
When I'm just being stubborn, yes, think about it. Okay, I'm not speaking for. I believe I'm speaking on behalf of the men that believe in equality.
Yes.
I understand as Bambaina, they're under the misguided thought that women are weak. I'm calling that misguided because I'm not speaking for them. I believe I'm speaking for the ones that believe in equality.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I have a degree in journalism. Then there's a different girl also who has a degree in journalism. Then there's an opportunity somewhere. We go for the interviews. Are you telling me they should not look at, they shouldn't pick us based on merit? I should lose the job if I'm better than this girl. If she's better than me and she gets the job, I'll be glad. If she gets the job just because she's is a girl, I'll feel like I'm being punished for the sins of my ancestors. just because I'm a man. That's where the feeling of not being fair comes in. I understand that we're trying to make the girl child reach level in individually, I've lost out on an opportunity. Exactly.
Okay, hold that thought. I think it's
been 15 minutes already.
It has. We'll be right back with Peer Chat. Just stay tuned.
Welcome back to Peer Chat. Remember, today Nkhani ya feminism, empowering women. some feel that women are being empowered at the cost of some men. And I'm joined by 3 women, as you saw before the break today. But then, just before the break, we were trying to talk. I mean, we're trying to address the issue of should a girl be given an opportunity just because she's a girl? What do you guys think?
I don't think so. A girl should be given an opportunity because she's a girl. I feel like merit in Diofuniga because the bottom line is we're trying to show what if you are Tsigana my abilities. So Tigana wouldn't Tsigana then get opportunity for one Tsigana, then I think that's another different thing.
Yes.
And we're not saying we should get opportunities simply because we're females, but we're saying we should be given equal opportunities as males.
You know, the same way that you're saying, should a woman be given an opportunity because she's a woman? You should also understand, there are a lot of scenarios where a woman is overlooked for certain
just
positions because they are a woman. You see? So it's a matter of merit. Let's get out of that box or your is a woman, man, and look at the person.
Not only that, my organizations also are the same man and woman by position in your mind. As Bambama they're earning more than the woman, come position then we don't want that.
Exactly. And Pamakala, there have been scenarios where a woman will be overlooked based on you raised a very important point, I think, in your opening remarks. You're as already children. This issue. It's like in the home. Because there's a man and a woman. They have a child. Who looks after this child? Primarily, it's the woman. Primarily, at the end of the day, a man there, even if a woman, sadly, will look at that woman and say, she's pregnant, you know, that type of thing, and say, no, let's not risk it. This man is also stem from the home setup. There is equal distribution of roles, even in the home. You wouldn't reach this point, your man wouldn't know, let's not hire a woman who has a young child because they will be busy. Because as a father will go on a responsibility.
And apparently I've heard Guri Patriarchy is already heavy enough in the homes. The man is considered Guri, the head of the house. So he comes in the house the level of authority and at the end of the day, to Kalandima cases of violence. At the end of the day, to Kalandima cases of suicide. Being the head of the house. But if a man and a woman are looking at each other and saying, maybe we can distribute more opportunities, more roles, rather, more household yatui, things will be a lot better. My cases of suicide at Sika, violence at Sika. Now you're talking at a certain not. We're trying to eliminate the apparently gender is a variable. So if we eliminate that, and then the
other issue, minimum food and Nkhani, we're supposed to be submissive. How do you guys understand this issue? Because that's another problem. Because when there are most Nkhani, this is someone who's the head of the family, what kind of genders and all that. What does that word mean? Could it be submissive? Because as Bambwena, they don't even listen to your ideas. Like you cannot contribute anything at all. You're a woman. Like I'm the one who's supposed to be making all the decisions. Like you can't even decide. You can't even decide on what to eat. Like he has to make all the decisions just simply because he's the man. So I think, and we misinterpret Nkhani, you're being submissive. So as Mambena yes, like you don't have to argue with them. Whatever they say, this is the banga pass. So I think that's a problem. And I heard somewhere, so somebody was telling me, hey, I'm a feminist, hey, and all that. Instead of like, can't you speak your mind? Can't you express what you're feeling? Is that supposed to be considered just because you're expressing yourself? So I think that's the problem, and that is why we have my issues on the issue of gender-based violence. Emotional. Physical, but emotional and just because they are not given that chance, because they should express themselves, they should express what they're saying. If they do,
and so, people are angry, are seen as angry for the micro opportunities or some of they are just reacting to something that you're not giving them. Some of some micro opportunities or angayo, you can be feminist and be married.
Yes. That's, I think the point that we should drive at. The notion of feminism. Malawi. It's people look at feminists as being angry. I think that's the word, perfect word. As being angry, disgruntled women, apparently, and they will look at feminists, some people, as maybe some women who have been greatly disappointed by some man somewhere. You know, is that it?
I feel like first of all, to the younger Pusoro, I want to say yes, I feel like it is. But don't get angry, don't get angry. I feel like there's black people dealing with racism, feminists dealing with feminism, and then there's gay people dealing with homophobia. It's always an emotional issue, you know. What I'm saying right now, I cannot say on social media because I know I'll be attacked and I'll be cancelled, as they call it.
Cancelled.
Yeah. I feel like Muntagangobel is a different point of view. They start attacking the person instead of sitting the person down. I say, you know what? Fine, well, that's how you say it. I feel we're fighting for this, we're fighting for that, we're fighting for this. It then gets emotional, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, if I really believe in male as superior, like in male personally, I do not believe that. If I believe that, and I've said it, I've posted that on Twitter, and people are attacking me, commanded to one, things like that. At the end of the day, I'm still going to believe that men are superior. I'm not going to understand what you guys are fighting for.
Because you just see them as reacting.
Yeah, exactly. But then if you come quite if they were fighting for this, it's the same issue. Like there's some reason why I brought up black people fighting racism. The issue of Black Lives Matter, igamabanga trend. White people like saying, no, all lives matter. And if the white person says that, and then you start attacking the person, at the end of the day, they'll still believe all lives matter. But then if somebody comes in and says, yes, all lives matter, we know that. Komaife was saying Black Lives Matter because black people are being killed because they're black. That will be better, and black people won't be seen as angry people. But that's why I'm saying feminists in Malawi, I'm going to say my vibes are already they're angry people because because it's an emotional issue, I understand. But then if we can sit each other down and make each other understand what's happening.
I said it. Go on,
Yes, it is an emotional issue, yes, but I think it's a matter of us and everyone else just being open to other people's views and ideas. Because in as much as we consider a feminist, they're angry in everything. Honestly, is the other side, is bringing out that anger. Like, you just don't understand. You just refuse to understand. You're not, whatever they say, I'll not listen. So even if they tell you, I've already made up my mind, I'll not listen to the thing they say. That is a problem. You have to be open to, you don't have to agree with what they're saying. You just have to listen to them. Just listen. Just listen, make up your mind later. But if you just block your mind, like whatever they say will not pass. You just block them. So that is the problem. So I think even things that have happened, the things that have been going through even for years, like you're like, where were you all this time? You were not talking about this. Women are now able to talk about things that happened to them maybe even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. That shows us at least now we have that platform where women are able to express themselves. We're doing better on that. So maybe on Kanya Maanga issues, maybe because we have been burdening up so much for so long. Now we feel like we just have to let out everything at once.
Yeah.
So yes, maybe that might be a problem because it's like we're bringing so much on the table and people just, it's hard for people to grasp everything at once. So you mentioned that it's an emotional issue. So it's about people, even the feminists, being able to deal with their emotions. Like, we have to be able to control our emotions. Like Ada was saying earlier, to say that you can be a feminist without being rude, which is true. You can be able to express your views without being rude to someone. So we should be able to get to that stage where as feminists are able to express ourselves without being rude to people, without saying bad things to people. We should be able to do that.
The reason why a lot of women, feminists rather, in Malawi have been bottling up is because chintu chichinatengedwa kale ngati choyipa or chachikunja. But and everything that they say is going to be offensive to a man because zikuoneka ngati, anyway, a man sort of so a feminist. It's called manism.
Yes.
So it's a movement that we have to sit down and understand and give them the opportunity that they want to at least prove themselves. Also, if you a mistake because another position then we should cancel out every other woman. So opportunities should be for everyone. Really.
Commercial change is very difficult. I think it's not taken as my because for people to make room for that, so that is the problem. People to accept that change is difficult, very, very difficult. That is why feminism it's new, but I believe that with time, because of us, there will be that change. My feminists they will be able to understand. We will be able to understand. Okay, I think maybe we're doing it the wrong way, or maybe if we can use my strategies, they should understand. The other part as well, they should be more accommodating. At least maybe if we do this, we know I can do. It's a matter of understanding. We know that we're treating each other equally in Jordan.
You know, Gary, one reason why men will hardly ever support feminism is because the status quo in the first place. Why would you want to change that? Yes. You're happy. You know? You're happy not having to wake up in the morning while you know somebody else is sleeping. Nobody has equal capability. You're happy because you can get out there and just do things without anybody judging you because of your gender. You're happy. So why would you be happy kubanga support feminism when it's going to change that?
Like if it means it's a plus for Zindusme, you're supposed to be doing.
So why would you happy with that? So it's an opposition that we expect. I think from this discussion, I'm understanding why men never agree with feminism.
Let me go back to what she said about a man can be a feminist. When I just heard of feminism, I was actually interested in it, and I wanted to become a member of the movement. But then I just felt like I didn't understand it well, but I felt like the agenda that's being pushed and what I believe in is Oceana. I believe in equality. I believe in that. I don't believe in just because we're in Zimbabwe, then they should get the opportunity. I mean, we've seen men take up on big leadership positions,
yeah.
And we've seen women as well, and they've actually done a good job. You know, like regardless of could people think that a woman can't do this, guy can't do that. They've done a good job, sometimes even better than men.
Yeah.
Feminism didn't do because I just thought it's not about equality. That's either it's about that, or most feminists push the wrong agenda. They're trying to bring in. I just felt like they're bringing in female superiority, and not.
I think I get you. I get Gary, because maybe that's also one of the reasons I've never really identified as a feminist. Because, as you say, we're pushing for not necessarily equal opportunity. For instance, I have seen this issue might be butter the headache. You're pushing.
Looking for water.
Issue you're putting members of parliament. Members of parliament are kale ofanana, males and females, 50-50. Fine, I agree. Women should go to the ballot, and everybody or voter should not look at a woman and say, no, am I? And go vote for the man. People should think that. But nobody should go to the ballot and say, oh, woman, and tick, just because she's a woman. No. We should be looking at capability alliance. To the table. That's what I think. But let's create extra seats in parliament for women. I'm like, is this really what we are fighting for? I hit a blank mic. So are you saying, Kuti, I can't do this, so there has to be some extra, incentive, not even incentive, extra treatment, special treatment. Are you saying that I am incapable? I don't think this is it.
Yeah.
I think it's about, as my face on a vessel, we should be able to show that we can do this. Yeah, we can do this.
Not just rely on the fact that we are a woman, so I'll be given this opportunity.
So yes, we need to do the first. We should show our capabilities. Show them that we are capable of doing this. Just remove in your head, whether I'm a woman or I'm a man, I can do anything and everything as long as I set my mind on it.
Yeah. So
even in Nkhani, I was already vote. I'm saying I'm a vote. So you believe in yourself, like I'm capable of doing this. And people trust you. They can easily vote for you just because you're a woman. Because the way also you're not putting effort. We need that. Show them I can do this. I can do this. It doesn't matter whether I'm a woman. Because sometimes what a man can do, a woman can do better. And I believe in that. You are in your room and then you find maybe you're the only woman and the room is full of men. Like you can't even speak. Like if I speak, no one will listen to me. So and I believe the energy, just because of the energy that you're also bringing out. So it has to start with you. Show them that you can do it.
Interesting. I think we are so caught up in this conversation right now. This is Peer Chat. You too can take part in the conversation by commenting. If you're watching on Facebook, please comment below and give us your thoughts. And if you're watching us at home, do get in touch with us. We're on Facebook at Times Peer Chat on Facebook, on Twitter at Times Peer Chat, and also you can find me or Gary, Elita Soko or Gary Samati on Facebook or on Twitter. Do stay tuned. We'll be back with the last.
Welcome back to Peer Chat. We've been talking about this issue about feminism, and it looks like we cannot finish everything in an hour, and we only have 15 minutes now to wrap it up.
Less
than 15 minutes to wrap it up. But then now looking forward, how should Malawians define feminism? and even feminists as well. Could it just say the perception, the feminists are angry people? How should Malawians define them?
From the definition of feminism, it's about advocacy for equality of the sexes. It's too broad. And therein lies the problem. So what are we looking at? Equality. I think there is a need to break it all down. Are we looking at roles in the home, in the workplace, in society generally? What's the current status? What are we trying to move towards, Which, to some extent, I would say, what is not we've talked about this, even from school, we've talked about gender equality, we've covered those stuff in school. It's a matter now of maybe going further and trying to look at our mindset. Situation in our society, what happens in the home? We've been talking about this whole gender equality thing for ages, but you still find even a baby, for instance. And you can't look for pink or, blue colors. Just represent pink for a girl, blue for a boy. Why? Who say the word in pink? Just because it doesn't make any sense, And fine, it might make sense to us because in the minute it's how it is. But is it really how it should be? Maybe when we try and dwell on such things is when maybe we'll be able to understand exactly what about feminism and what are we trying to achieve. And maybe, so even the people who are advocating for feminism will not be misguided as we think some are. I mean, we don't know for sure because, well, I don't exactly know for sure what feminism is. So I think maybe that should
yes, I agree with ladies. I think it's about mindset change, and this is for everyone, not just the feminists. It's for everyone. So chifukwa cha upbringing, our society, culture inatizala bezina zake basa, so we're growing and everything, but zina zake zokuti takula nazo, which nzovura kusinta pano, but it's doable to take but with the generation zina zimeanena zizamakalas what even my rules akunyumba and everything. If we start kuyamba kusinta the young generation, this is we will have a generation, meaning people are more aware of themselves, people are more aware of what is expected of them and everything. Change it's not something that can happen in a drill. It will take time. We can start building it right now. So we have to change. We need to be able to change our minds or change people's minds on this. Make sure they understand. Back to Guy, understanding. We have to understand because mindset changes in the color where people don't understand. So we should be able to discuss these things without getting emotional. We should be able to discuss these things without attacking each other, without feeling we are being attacked. No, it's just let's just express ourselves, made to feel like this is how I understand or this is how I feel about these things, and the other party has to be able to understand. We should just be able to listen. We should just be able to listen. That's the most important part.
If feminism can be defined, in both theory and practically, I feel like everybody can, everyone who cares about human beings is automatically going to be a feminist. Only if it can be defined, in theory and in practical. I feel like most feminists, the argument is different when we're talking about, and it's even a bad thing about us as men, our menedemaganizila, but then it's also a bad thing about women as well, is when we're arguing about the issue of morals, it's always how the argument is going to go when it's about nchito zaba nyumba, right? But then when it's about nchito zolibira zinthu, you know how the argument is going to go, right? So I just feel like...
Do we?
When I know you can be different. When it comes to the, okay, I feel like most girls push the feminism agenda when it's benefiting them. But then when it's against women, in terms of issues like small things like who should pay the bill, Johnny, of course you're going to say
we pay our
sometimes you can. No, I mean like in terms of dates.
Yes.
Yeah, like who should Jan be a man, hey, Jan, things like that.
Should pay for the date, I mean.
But then how many times does a girl confront?
That's the thing we're trying to change, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, now moving on. I feel like feminists aren't fair in that regard. When it comes to, what good example can I think of? Okay, there's usually that I'm a girl in the investor sen. I'm a girl in the investor sen. That happens. Guys, that happens. Girls, when they things like she's going in that sense she's going to come and say I'm a girl in the investor sen. It was that time of the month. I mean, I understand how bad that gets.
Okay.
I understand how bad that gets. Yeah. But then if you're saying, I'm a girl because I was going through this in the investor sen, how are we not going to look at you guys as girls when you're doing things?
But then, also you have to understand us. Because you don't have to, you shouldn't push us. Kuti puta and everything. We're going through that because we act crazy. We don't think with the mind at all. Yeah? So you have to understand our emotional needs, physical needs, and everything. No matter what time of the month it is. Yeah? So if first of all, we shouldn't we shouldn't use that as
Nkhani.
So sometimes it's not just because it's that time of the month, but minutes usually. So handle us.
In album, I think Tivomeleze anyway, a man and a woman are going to be different. A lady is going to need the masigudina for childbirth, the masigudina for menstruation, biological, and all of that thing. We need to accept that. But when it comes to feminism, let's just keep it equal opportunities. People should fight, they should be given the opportunity. Married, you want somebody who's smarter than the other, who's better than the other. Is easy, biological easy. Let's accept it. Couldn't be
okay, and the financial is so fine. Let's also let's keep the same.
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
Okay, what sort of feminist are you?
I want Priska to explain herself.
Because I understand he's of the view,
we shy away from financial responsibility. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's not common.
Yes, people are common.
Guess that happens. Come on,
just because of my lack of my opportunities. Sometimes maybe the woman has the lowest paying job, or they are not even working and everything. Yeah. So just because to pay more cheap, also to pay the lad. Yeah. And then you're married and everything. And then you're the head of the family. You're supposed to be responsible for everything. Yeah. That's the That's what we're paying. But again, because you don't have. In families, maybe they have good paying jobs or what they're able even to share my bills. Yeah, just because we know best. You have to understand. Okay, I don't expect them to do everything just because they're not earning more fun than
I know.
So and everything.
I know of married couples that actually put their resources together and say budget for the house.
I also know of other couples let's say the husband gets 1 million kwacha in a month and the woman gets 500,000 kwacha. Even if the woman gets 1 million kwacha and the husband gets 500,000 kwacha, the conversation is different. The one who's earning less is the man in this case. The woman is still going to look at this guy and say,
that's wrong. It's wrong.
Exactly. Yes.
It shouldn't happen like
exactly.
that. And
so my point was the consistency when it comes to fighting.
What I think is, I don't think a a real feminist will go out and do that.
It shouldn't be about feminists, you know, like I am not a feminist in that case. Komano, I do believe in equality. So I feel like it shouldn't be about Kote Uyu the feminist, gays. This person is not a feminist. I mean, it should be about us as people. Generally.
It's about your ego.
Really? Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, because if we're married and then I'm earning more than you, I'm not doing anything, I'm not treating you, I'm respecting you, you still be feeling equal. You not feel like a man just because I'm not coming to ask you even for jail or anything. So sometimes we do these things not because we cannot afford, but because we still want you to feel like a man. You should feel like we still need you. That is why we're even able to. That's a brain to my It's not because you don't have serious. Because men and your ego.
I've actually seen men who look at women who are independent as, I don't know, something that's a negative. You know, like you can't get with an independent woman because you're like, ish. I mean, automatically you think, that would be rude, you know?
Every single argument is because
it's
yes.
You see, when for some
on that, like I really have to admit, I feel like men are scared of an empowered, powerful woman.
But you shouldn't.
So it becomes too.
Exactly.
Most men feel like they become too powerful to a point where like a relationship can't work with them.
So men need a woman who they should control.
Exactly.
A submissive woman.
You say.
In conclusion.
We can go on forever and ever, but let's wrap it up this way. Let's thank you so much for joining us today in this edition of Peer Chat, where we were discussing the issue of feminism in the world and particularly in Malawi. Feminism in Dijani, do we understand it? It's a discussion that can go on forever and ever and ever. I'll make one promise, we'll be back with another discussion on feminism. And this time, I hope we'll be able to have some of you in the audience, directly in the audience. Yeah. So today we were joined by Amber Chitzalo. Thank you for joining us, Amber.
Thank you so much.
And we had a Priska Kansida. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And you were with me as always, Edita Soko, and my colleague
Gary Samati.
Let me thank the talented Francis Nawondwe, who was the guy behind the camera. Yes, you can't see him, but we can. And also, we work in partnership with Nanjali Youth Organization and Blantyre City Football Club, who are always there for support. Many thanks to those organizations too, and many thanks to you for watching. Be there again next time. Goodbye.